So I had a deal with Commissioner Colt Cassidy that if I was going to be able to possibly have the chance to get my job back, Coop would get his job back. Is that still gonna hold up? And if so, can he?
I have no information on
You
that
should probably
deal.
focus on your
Oh.
head.
So yeah, let's talk about you first.
Trips fuck.
Okay.
This ain't a group deal.
Okay.
Ain't nobody gonna get one fucking free in this bitch.
All right, so the way it's going to work is the LSPD is going to plead their case of why you were terminated and why you should remain terminated if they feel that way, and then you're going to plead your case as to why you should get your job back. Okay, and then we're going to call in some character witnesses. If there's not a rebuttal from the LSPD, we're going to let y'all hash it out first, and then after that, we'll get the character witnesses in, and after that, we'll kick everybody out and have a determination within 10 minutes. But that's not going to happen within this will not take longer than an hour. I won't let it.
You said that with Tinker. It took 3 fucking hours.
I don't recall.
God damn.
Yeah, because you weren't there.
Tinker. Come on now.
I think I blacked out.
I was gaslighting you. Our Christmas tree is very pretty.
I genuinely didn't recall. Okay. I'm going to get real tired of the peanut gallery. People keep walking in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it very clear. If you're not involved in this, shut the fuck up. I don't need this thing taking 8 hours because random people just keep talking about shit. We
Okay,
good with
let's
that?
just have this say. Okay, Chief, if you'd like to kick this off, enlighten us. I have absolutely no context on any of this.
Meredith Jensen was fired for opening up a lockdown property to allow criminals that she is affiliated with into a property that was seized by the police. She made no effort to contact the actual homeowner, which was Piper Payne, who was actively on duty, by the way, including myself, who has keys to the home. We're in the process of raiding someone, and I was getting notifications that someone was lockpicking a home. That person was Meredith Jensen, who, after subpoenaing her text messages, we learned that she had conversations with the leader of the Street Rats and had worked with Costa, who is a member of the Death Wish group, which is ex-Street Rats. Basically, they became the Street Rats became Death Wish, ultimately. We formed that there was a relationship with these people. This wasn't a random encounter. It wasn't conspired upon in text messages. We did show that Meredith did know these people and did them a favor by breaking into a property that was seized. I was part of that investigation. I was the one who wrote the warrants for the subpoena of that property. I was the one who wrote that property getting removed. I was the one who raided that property. I was the one who did the court stuff. I was the one who did the paperwork. And Davies did a little bit as well. Thank you, Davies.
Good job, Davey.
And ultimately,
all that shit.
Meredith Jensen decided that as an on-duty police officer, she would use her ability to break into a property to then help the same people that had that property taken from them to go inside the property, and Lord knows what they did inside that property. The commissioner became aware of this immediately and pretty much ultimately wanted to terminate her and arrest her on the spot for the crimes that she had committed. We then got a subpoena for her phone. We then realized that there was a connection between herself and members of ex-Street Brat / now Death Wish, showing that there was a relationship connection there of being friends / family. Additionally, during my time as a sergeant / officer / chief of police, whilst I have been not entirely innocent of crashing out myself, there have been multiple times where Meredith Jensen has been overwhelmingly insubordinate towards myself, and then also towards Ray Lee. I've heard from multiple officers as well, of members of command, NCO, and I think Mac, even you talked about it a little bit to me, that Meredith Jensen's attitude and insubordination is by far some of the worst that I've ever seen. When things do not go her way, she seems to absolutely uncontrollably crash out like she's got some fucking emotional damage in her mind, which I don't know how to comprehend because I, Crocodile Steve, has no emotions and is not swayed by them or affected by them in any way, as I have no friends.
No, that's right.
Whoa.
But
I'm your friend, Croc.
You're my co-worker.
Really,
You're my
you have a
co-worker.
whole lot of friends over here.
You're my co-worker.
Hey, bestie.
Shut up. Co-worker. Ultimately, it's a mix of the insubordination, the crime of breaking into a property with absolutely no due diligence. And the main thing that ticked me off is we had a court case with Vinny Pistone. where Meredith Jensen was the arresting officer. We called in Meredith Jensen despite the fact that she was suspended/fired, and we asked her to provide a simple testimony on how could she prove that her suspect was Vinny Pistone. The suspect was in her custody. The suspect was in the Sandy Shores Sheriff's Office. The suspect was documented and processed by Meredith Jensen. Meredith Jensen was unable to explain how she knew it was Vinny and was unable to provide a testimony. I personally thought that this level of incompetence was so big that she couldn't ID a suspect that was in her own custody. I felt, given the insubordination and the blatant crime she had committed helping criminals break into seized properties, I felt she was no longer a good fit for the LSPD, and I terminated her in the lobby.
All right. Miss Jensen, your rebuttal.
Yes, I would like to start off and say I was not charged with a crime for breaking and entering at all. And
Still been 30 days.
Was only suspended pending investigation indefinitely. So I was not without my job up until the situation with Croc happened in the lobby, in which I got very overwhelmed, and I had not been notified about this bench trial that was going to be happening, and I had no time to review the case or review information about it.
That's not
Or
look at I'm afraid not.
Look at the report
I need to get
remind
my
myself,
fixed.
and I got very overwhelmed, and that's when I started lashing out per se towards Croc. And then that is when he yelled at me to fire me. But up until then, I was only indefinitely suspended with no communication from my command, as they kept throwing it onto BCSO. And then whenever I would go to BCSO, they would throw it towards Commissioner's office. We'd been trying, Coop and I had been trying to get in contact with the Commissioner's office. Well, not the office, Cold, to speak about our missions to get our job back. But up until then, I had heard no charges being pressed, no action being taken, and the only action I had actually gotten was towards Croc. That was when I was fired, which I was understanding punishment to be had there, but it was a very hash situation between the both of us.
Okay. Now, a couple things here. Number one, I do not give a fuck about Cooper. This is not Cooper's tribunal. This is yours. So I don't want to hear anything about Cooper or his situation. Again, this is not a group deal. This is specifically for your career. Secondly, being charged for something, that has nothing to do with this. You can be terminated without being charged. You can be terminated for anything. It just because the charges didn't stick or whatever the case came out of the investigation, that doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hadn't been notified of anything happening with the case. There wasn't really any communication from anybody, to be frank. I had no idea what was going on, but I was being treated like a criminal.
Lane Mad context.
There was a criminal investigation against you. That's probably why they weren't telling you anything to do with it.
Never mind, he's got it.
Go ahead, Chief.
You said what I wanted to say. Never mind, you've got it. It was an investigation. Charges have not been pushed yet, and they still can, but I don't know if we are at this point.
Well, the sheriff is here with the results of the investigation. Sheriff, if you'd like to share.
Yes. Through the investigation, multiple interrogations, and research of multiple text messages, call logs, it was determined that Meredith Jensen had formed an attachment and/or relationship with one Courtney Sinclair, who was also had a fiance at the time. Between myself and Colt, we agreed that these text messages showed that was a lot of cat and mouse gaming towards Miss Jensen. We don't believe there was malicious intent. However,
Mens rea.
we do believe that she was emotionally compromised and then used. The Street Brats have a history of doing this with several of other officers over the course of the last few months. There was a pattern revealed after that they had basically broken all contact with her after getting what they wanted. We determined through contact with Regan, who was part of the DAB unit raid on the property, that nothing had been tampered with. Allegedly, all of the evidence that had remained still inside the premises was still there. However, Sergeant Payne had stored a 24-karat gold Labubu, which is missing. So take that with what you will.
Will there be charges levied against her?
I believe the commissioner tried to go towards the route of giving her a path back of redemption. I don't know the full details of that mission, however.
A side quest, if you will.
A side quest, yes.
May I ask a question, Sheriff?
More like a main quest.
Yes, correct.
Sheriff, did it come down to the conclusion that Meredith Jensen did give unauthorized access to the property?
Yes, she did. This is present in both her own admission and in the text messages.
Yeah.
And as it came forward to Piper Payne in the moment after it happened to show that I was the one that did it.
That
Jack,
is
do
also
we let her
true.
back
She
or
could
do
have
we
kept
keep
quiet
her
and nobody
fired?
would have been the wiser to what she did, but she came forward immediately.
Do we
after she did it.
do we keep her fired or do we bring her back?
Regardless, your actions compromised an
Honey dick.
investigation, and your actions also showed your own compromised integrity. So, with that being said, why in the hell would I want to hire you back?
It's not my call anymore. It's not my call.
It was a huge lapse in judgment.
Oh, chat's
so to
mean.
speak.
Chat's saying fired. Chat's
I was
mean.
unaware that the investigation was still ongoing, but it was on my own fault for not reaching out first. Even though everyone was tied up, I still should have waited and then come forward
get a haircut?
afterwards and
No.
not done anything. I will take complete and entire fault on that. I can't blame it on anyone else.
Chat's actually mean. The
I was just-
entirety of Kick Chat
I
said
was led to
fine.
believe that it was
Every
abandoned.
single one, besides one
and
person.
just in the state's name, kind of, and sort of
Okay, I'd give her another chance. She fucked up, but I don't want to fire anyone.
the word for like being forfeited
Looks
to the
different?
state, so to speak, and it was my lapse of judgment to not investigate it
Looks
further.
good.
But
Did you not seek any information from your chain of command regarding the status of the home?
not beforehand, sir. No.
So you just walked up and was like, "Yeah, it's okay. We'll just check it out." Is that kind of how it went? You just kind of jumped the gun on it, or what?
I was led to believe
Old Croc would push
that,
us,
Who led you
but I'm
to believe
soft.
The individuals that were present at the time, sir. The criminals, yeah.
You got honey dicked.
Yeah, whatever that means. Yeah. I understand now it was a major lapse in judgment. Beyond that, it was an entire
Nick
fuck up
Croc
on my
Wi-Fi.
part. And it will clearly outline the people that I should trust now, as they've broken all contact with me. And I have not spoken to them basically since. And I realize now what had happened.
Okay. Moving on from this, let's move on to
Mhm.
your insubordination towards others. Would you care to explain why that came about and why that won't happen again?
I've been trying to have a conversation with Rock about the situation that had happened
Chief
out in the
Croc.
lobby. Sorry, yeah, Chief Croc.
Mm.
About the situation that had happened in the lobby. I feel like we've had a lot of rough conversations between each other and very not progressive, so to speak, as I don't believe our communication styles mix well, and that's what I was going to talk about with him. After
my
I had a
fault.
conversation with Assistant Chief Lee about what I can do after it had already, I had had a bad conversation with Lee, and then when and texted him to explain to him the situation. And then we had a conversation about how I should maybe go about it to better my relationship towards Chief Croc. And
Okay.
that's what I was wanting to talk about so that we can establish a good communication style. I have a tendency of matching energy, even when I shouldn't,
admitting.
towards people when they are talking to me. And it has gotten me in trouble.
Mackie, get that there.
What's that?
I sent you a text real quick.
Oh,
I thought you said get out there.
okay. So you have some trouble with matching energy. I mean, this has been a recurring issue. I've seen this in the past. What do you think you're gonna do to maybe make sure this doesn't happen in the future if you are offered your job back? Because I feel like this is going to be a recurring issue regardless of this one specific case or two. This has kind of been a few instances, and I'm a little worried about
Low-key,
that
I need
for,
to shit.
the future coming forward here.
I'm gonna shit.
I'm willing to speak with individuals, specifically higher ups, about ways I can communicate with them better, so I can establish communication like practices, so that we can be on the same page, and so that I don't accidentally be insubordinate, as I don't ever intend to be. I don't want to, unless I believe I'm doing what is right.
Okay. With the you mentioned some comments about this stalling out, nobody reaching out to you or communicating to you. Do you understand why? Do you understand where the major? I feel like there was some blame getting shifted here, that nobody gives a fuck and all this kind of stuff. You realize what the major component here was that this stalled out?
Well, I understand now that it was about criminal investigation, that I was being possibly criminally investigated.
Also, you were supposed to report to Colt on this, not necessarily the commissioner's office. He was supposed to. Wasn't that how it was set up?
Yeah, it's just it was a bit of a waiting game because I haven't seen Colt in like 10 days now.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so
I mean, I don't know where did this transition to the commissioner's office? Was this just you filling in, or was this just you because Colt's commissioner? You just figured that was the office entirely?
yeah, maybe. And
Okay.
I wanted to show that I was trying to be persistent in a way, but also trying to take initiative and not do nothing with my life.
Oh,
I was-
Jesus.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Colt hasn't been around. We've been investigating. Things have taken a bit longer than I'd like. That's why there's a point where, now the Colts kind of have been a little MIA, that we just decided to go with this. So this is why we're here now. But I felt like there's a little shift in blame and a little victimizing yourself here with, nobody's talking to me. I've tried to, reach out, nothing's happening. Last message I got from you directly was November 5th. So I'm not sure where this communication to the commissioner's office is.
I've been trying to call. Other people have been calling for me on my behalf. Like, I think my lawyer maybe did, or
Yeah, your lawyer
other
has nothing
people.
to do with this. No
Well,
offense.
that
The lawyer
was-
has nothing to do with your employment. This is you.
Well, that was also part of the criminal investigation. I wasn't sure how much I needed the lawyer, but I've been trying to call in certain times, and other people have been calling because I didn't want to seem like the big bother. I don't want to try and victim blame myself or try and shift the blame, but
Okay.
I wasn't entirely sure who to contact, and I'd gotten in trouble before for contacting other people.
Well, I mean, Colt was the one leading the charge here. If the commissioner
Yeah.
was doing this, I mean, you'd expect that I'd be the second option, or Knox if he's around, but he hasn't been around much either, or even Lane at this point. So, I mean, if this is a commissioner's office detail, then you would, I would imagine, you'd work within the office at that point, or those that are investigating, like Leanne herself.
Right.
So, while I appreciate your efforts and your waiting, there's a little comment about nobody's contacting you, nobody said anything. You should be possibly, working the right avenues to get this moving along if you needed it. But anyway, so what's next? What's next here?
They talking to me.
Clark, do you have any input on this now that we've gone this far through the whole thing?
I just want to see less insubordination and a little bit more due diligence. I was a little bit surprised about the whole Vinny thing. I know it was like a bench trial and you weren't prepared for it, but honestly, neither were we. It's a bench trial, right? And I was hoping that with your police work, you would at least be able to. I wasn't expecting you to describe like a Bible verse on everything that happened, but I wanted you to at least be able to answer the one question of how did you identify the suspect that's in your custody? That was just the one thing that's like
Correct.
zero expectation for, which you failed. And then given the insubordination in the past, and then and then the whole breaking and entering thing, which really ticked me off the wrong way. I just want to make sure that if we are open to bring you back, how do I know that I'm going to have a good officer in my police department?
Well, I don't doubt my police work, at least with the Vinny situation.
How good is that timing? How
There's
good
never
is
been a
that
time
timing?
where I wouldn't have correctly identified someone, even though we didn't take mugshots and fingerprint. I still obviously would have taken his mask off, and I don't doubt that. I was just very starstruck with the situation in the moment, and I would have preferred to look at my MTT, but that's where the communication style came in, and I was getting frustrated with myself and the situation and started lashing out because I felt as though I wasn't prepared, and that was on me, but I just wasn't ready.
Let's do this. Your communication style is essentially not communicating. It's problem number one. Okay, you didn't ask, you just went and did something. You don't talk to people, or you don't like to talk to people that you don't like, and then you don't talk to them at all, and you get no information, and then you do something and you fuck up, and now we're here. So, this whole ordeal, out of everything you've done, you've borderline. Well, it was illegal what you did. It was illegal. Now, whether there's mens rea, that's for you, Chief. If that was there, if you did it intentionally or not, you still did it. You still did it, right? You still compromised all that.
Mens rea.
And then on top of that, another issue where
That's
you
got me
just
going.
completely dropped the ball in the case. I mean, there's
Thanksgiving's
a lot of
fucking
stuff
a lot of things
piling
up
here that makes me personally wonder why in the hell the chief would even want you back. Okay, because you got a lot of shit piling up against you. But I'm fair, so we're gonna bring in the character witnesses. We're gonna take 2 minutes. Everybody get the fuck out. I'm gonna talk to the board if they don't have any more questions. Okay, and then we're gonna start the character witnesses, and then we'll move on from there. Is there any other comments from the board up here that want to say something?
None for me.
Sheriff?
What have you done during your time away?
Good question.
A lot of it has been trying to help out with
Davies wants Academy.
Colt situation, or the mission he gave us, because he kind of gave it to.
What's
I
the
know
space
you
like
don't want me to
Cupwater?
wrap in Cooper with this, but a lot of it was he gave it to the both of us, and so we were working on it together to try and show that we're on PD side type of thing. And I've also been I was a paralegal yesterday, and so I've been exploring maybe getting my bar license, as that would help me obviously not think about it would help me think about what I'm doing in the future.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I hate to interrupt you.
Oh,
Did you
sorry.
say that you get expunged yesterday?
What?
Did I mishear you? Did you say you got expunged yesterday?
Yeah. No, I didn't get expunged. I was paralegal yesterday.
I
and
completely
I'm
misheard
exploring-
you. My bad. Continue.
Yeah, it's okay.
I heard
I was
expunged.
I'm planning on possibly getting my bar license so that I can make sure I know the full extent of the law and prevent future fuck ups like these.
Okay, that's well and good for legal sense, but if invited back and offered something back, what steps would you take to prevent things like this from happening from the future?
I'm trying to communicate better and learn to respect my peers. I mean, I did that before, but not being so like not jump to conclusions and take time with my responses. So that I don't say things I don't mean.
Okay, what was the primary objective for this task that Colt sent you on, Commissioner?
I think it was to try and prove. Well, I think he was saying like try and prove that there was coercion with the situation that had happened, and so we were trying to get that for him and like talk with like Courtney and whatnot. But Courtney hasn't been messaging back.
Okay. Was there not something else that occurred that considered the operation compromised?
Was there?
Your phones?
Oh. Yeah, we got our phones stolen. But I don't know what ended up happening with that. Because it was brought up in the court case that I was a witness for.
Taxman just robbed me.
Okay, how were they stolen?
They were stolen from Cooper's car. When we were undercover at the thread.
I'm not happy. I've been robbed!
Was the thread part of the mission you were sent on?
Yeah, we were trying to get like information to like maybe
Guys,
help PD.
pick stream next week.
Like try to get a lick back, in a sense, I guess.
So thread wasn't part of the original scope of the mission. You just did it as extra because you thought it would help.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We were trying to like.
Do we need a whole room in here for this part? I want to shoot someone. I want to miss all my shots though.
When Courtney wasn't responding, you know?
Well, that's all right.
Okay.
Trying to widen the scope and whatnot.
Oh, that feels very wrong. What have I done to my mouse?
Okay. Was there anything else that you were doing during your time? How did you try to prove to these criminals that you were not, in fact, just an officer undercover?
My sensitivity has been incorrect for the past month!
We were trying to get cool with
Blue
them
means 400!
and like see if we can get information from them, you know?
I thought... I've had it on purple! It's meant to be on blue!
But since they weren't contacting us, they couldn't really lead much else.
Right.
My DPI was 250!
So just so like we didn't expand too much without permission, we decided to wait for a Commissioner Colt before moving further. And that's when I was exploring the paralegal option. I waited.
Watch me be locked in now. It feels good though. My DPI's been
Any
on
other questions,
250.
No, I need to look at a few things.
Okay. All right. So Ms. Jensen, I'm gonna be very blunt and honest with you. I personally feel like you're just giving us answers that you think will please us, and I'm not accepting that. You don't seem even remotely remorseful for your actions, and to my ear, you seem to be bullshitting your way through this tribunal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you take 2 minutes, walk outside, collect yourself, come back in here, and answer a few more questions before we move on to your character witnesses. Understood? Do
Yes,
you
sir.
understand?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Good. Step out. Everyone else, clear the room.
Yes, sir. AC, sir.
You want me on as well, then?
No, you're good. You can stay.
Fuck
Oh,
you,
there's the
Anderson.
Christmas tree. Well, I'm gonna get on the road. Hey, what? Hey, ooh, hey.